All right, we are live, Edina Maple Grove, a team that we have not faced yet. So it will be a little bit of an excitement, third place game, but Maple Grove in their own tournament will come out with a lot of energy. If the Edina sweaters don't inject that type of energy into the style play today, certainly the home tournament that they're trying to protect in any which way they can. It's not a championship game, but Maple Grove has fared well this tournament, losing 1-0 to a tough Andover team, and then Prior Lake has been hot of late, and they dropped the contest to Prior Lake 5-2. That shot from the point hit some traffic from Williamson. Loose, that's going to split Sweetser and Williamson. Sweetser will now get on her horse, but it'll be an icing call if it gets there, and it does, and that's the first whistle of the game with 14:19 left. Edina Maple Grove, last game of the tournament. It's been a fun few days. Some highs, some lows, some mediums, all of that. We'll have Helfrich and Shoot now back at the point. We're going to have McGarvey on the face-off. That's back to Shoot. Shoot lets it rip, and that hits a shin pad and ricochets down in the Edina zone. Helfrich chasing in the left corner. Collecting, trying to get it up the boards. That's going to reach neutral ice. Maple Grove will be able to play it as they regroup a bit in their own zone. They throw it back to Shoot. Shoot in her zone, up off the boards. A little volleyball action, and Maple Grove throws it in. We'll have offsides, I believe, with the face-off outside the zone. So early face-off one from Edina. They get a little bit of action down in Maple Grove zone. Shot hit some traffic. Other than that, nothing to write home about. Heinmiller in the right wing. Heinen taking the face-off. Hoffman to her left. Sweetser, Nelson back at the point. Face-off now in the vicinity of Heinmiller. Heinmiller now racing against the near boards. Physical play. Bumps her off the puck. Heinen shoves it in the neutral ice area, and that's going to get back and by Nelson. Weary's going to escort that behind the net. All the way to the far side of the boards. Maple Grove, nice hold there. Collision. Hoffman's down, slow to get up, but looks to be okay. Maple Grove with some pressure. Edina having a tough time getting it out. Sweetser now over to Nelson. Nelson finally gets it out. Maple Grove throws it back in. Everybody's on sides. Nelson trying to collect. Nelson now backhands that to the far boards. Maple Grove steps it in and holds again. Sweetser now back behind Weary. Sweetser now trying to get it up to Heinmiller, just outside her reach. That's going to go the length of the ice. We'll have an icing call. Face off down in Edina zone. Well, it looks like all 10 girls on the ice at a given time have their legs yet after this long tournament. Maple Grove's got 4 coaches on the bench. Matching Edina's 4 coaches on the bench, so both staffs would like nothing more to get a win going into the week. Edina has the Tonka game Wednesday, so hoping to play well to come into that game as Morgan enters the zone. Winds, that's deflected. That's stick to the corner. Maple Grove's goalie doing nothing but the right thing with that. Shot from the point, and the goaltender reaches out and makes a save. And Shoot Andy Nelson live from Osseo, Minnesota. A few flurries. Hockey-like setting outside the arena. Certainly a hockey-like setting inside the arena. Morgan now trying to operate with some space. Drops it back for Sauter. Sauter trying to get it to the crease. It's loose in the paint. Still loose. Maple Grove shoves it back to the point. Helfrich now plays it back in the corner. Morgan collects. Trying to find Sauter. Bumped off the puck. Maple Grove now collects deep in their zone. They get it out by a foot. Williamson holds back at neutral ice, trying to get it deep. That hits some traffic. Maple Grove now flipping it down. Williamson knocks that down with their elbow. Helfrich has a little bit of space, trying to catch him in a chain. Sauter now entering. Shot wide, stick back behind the net. Fitzgerald chasing the left corner. Shot comes back to the point. Williamson winds. That's deflected. Goes back into the corner. Comes all the way down into the near corner. Maple Grove looking to exit. KK off from a change, flying across the ice to dump it back in. Zone time compliments of KK McGarvey. Puck loose on the far boards. Ford digging at it. That's going to get out of the zone. Shoot now. Over to Nelson. Nelson, little snapper, hard on net. That's escorted into the right corner with some force. Nice save there. McGarvey now trying to get it to the slot. That goes through with some skates. Couple whacks at it. Forster gets a stick on it. Nelson tries to hold. She's going to have to regroup at neutral ice. Nelson now trying to enter. Nelson tries to shove it 5-hole, and that's saved loose in the paint. Nelson with a nice rush with an opportunity. Nice hold there by Shoot, but it spits out, and we're going to have a race, and Shoot just gets back in the nick of time with a stick. First real good opportunity, compliments of Nelson. Went strong 5-hole action on that, but the goaltender stood tall and made the save, and with 10 minutes and looks like 50 seconds left, the West clock certainly does not have the resources and updates that the East clock does, so we'll have to guess at the time. I think it's 10:50 left here in the first period. Not keeping track of shots, but shots in favor of Edina, zone time in favor of Edina. And right now, Edina outplaying Maple Grove by a bit as they go D to D with it, and the puck jumps back to the point. Centering pass, that hits some traffic. We got Heinmiller, Sweetster on the ice along with Williamson. Hoffman trying to call for it on the far board. Sweetster in a little bit of trouble. Who has to come help her? That's got to be Heinen. Heinen now with a little dangle trying to get out of the zone. Shoves it up to Heinmiller. Maple Grove with the hold, throwing it back into the corner. Heinen now fighting a couple Crimson to try to get control on the near boards. Heinmiller now exiting. Little sauce pass off to Hoffman. Nice collection there as Hoffman's able to catch it in stride. Little toe drag between the skates. That goes into the near corner. Hoffman fighting. A couple new skaters on for Edina. Hoffman binds some seconds down there. She's all over two Maple Grove skaters. They finally do get an exit. Helfrich and Williamson back. Sauter on a back check. Sauter now gives a whack at it. Helfrich tries to shove it up to Sauter. That's in her skates. Sauter has to use her hands to get it over to Fitzgerald as she enters. Fitzgerald forced wide. Over to Morgan. Morgan centering pass and goes through the paint. Sauter is tied up. Sauter trying to fight. Past Helfrich. Shoot's got to close in some space. Shoot gathers back in her own zone. Throws it over to Morgan. That's collected. Morgan entering. 3-on-3 hockey. Little dangle. Morgan lifts a stick. Fighting for it. That's going to get back to the point. Shoot able to lock it in. Shot. Rebound. And that's going to go right to a Maple Grove skater as they'll exit out of the zone. Shoot. Up to Sauter. Sauter now trying to get it to the center of the ice for Morgan. Morgan's got to hold a little bit as she had to battle a few sticks whacking at the puck. All three get off for Edina. The forwards, Shoot and Nelson stay on. Maple Grove shoving it back. That's behind Nelson. Shoot and support's going to go grab it behind Weary. Shoot coughs it up in front of Weary, and Weary's got to stick it to the corner. Nelson now backhands that into the far corner. Carter gives it a poke, kept in by Maple Grove. A little battle on the far boards. Who comes away with it? Nobody else better at coming across neutral ice than KK McGarvey. Off the boards to herself, chases down in the corner, puts on the brake, still controlling, trying to get it over to, looks like that was Carter, excuse me. McGarvey gets hooked and taped down, and we'll have fishing without a license, and Edina will have 90 seconds on the power play. First penalty called in the game. And we'll see if we can get our power play unit going like we had against Andover this week, and it's been really, really effective. We've had some really quality shots with the girls setting it up, not just firing at whim. So Maple Grove controls the face-off. They try to get it out. Fitzgerald now closing on in the corner. That's past the wing. Shoot on a deep pinch, throws it back in the vicinity to Morgan. Morgan collects. Morgan has a little bit of time, back to Shoot. Shoot now, looking to Sauter, nothing there, back to Morgan on the right side. Morgan now dancing, bumped off the puck a bit, gets it over to Sauter. Sauter winds, that hits a skate. Maple Grove tries to get it out, and they do, and that'll go the length of the ice, and we'll have an icing call, and we'll have 1:02 left on the power play. And see if Edina can get a face-off one on the opposite dot, which is going to be to the right of the Maple Grove netminder. Fitzgerald on the draw. Well, Carter to her left, Morgan to her right. Shoot and Sauter back at the point. That's down. Maple Grove wins that again, and it's shoved towards the netminder who covers up, and we'll do it again. Fitzgerald giving a little bit of a directional communication back to the point. So I think she says, hey, I'm going to win this thing. She does. That gets back to shoot. Shoot now over to Morgan. Morgan now operated. Morgan with some time. Goes low. Trying to get back to Morgan. Sauter back to shoot. Shoot. Back to Morgan. Here we go. Now you got the time to get there. Morgan walks it in. Shot! And that just goes off the post. Good play there. Shoot, holds at the point, shoves it back towards Morgan. Morgan takes a whack at it to the slot. Maple Grove coming away with it. Backhand flip out of the zone, but that's held by Shoot. Morgan now over to Carter. Carter with a wrister, and that's saved. It's a laser by Carter that just was saved in the nick of time. And they finally get it clear, but Shoot collects at neutral ice. She'll now regroup back in her own zone. Over to Morgan, trying to catch Maple Grove in a change, but it's just off her stick. Maple Grove whacks that down the other way. We'll have an icing call with 8 seconds left on the power play. 6:53 left in the period. Heinen looking back towards Sweetster and Nelson. Heinen wins the face-off. Over to Sweetster. Sweetster hard shot. That's collected in front of the netminder by Maple Grove. Maple Grove now able to get it out. Heinmiller coming over to get it off the puck. Heinmiller with a fantastic play to disrupt that zone exit into neutral ice. Maple Grove now coming away with it as they dance into the zone. Heinmiller now picks up some loose change. She's going to try to exit. Maple Grove trying to take her off the puck. They shove it back into the far right corner. Nelson now chasing. Maple Grove behind the net, trying to get it in front. That deflects off a few skates. Sweetser now trying to get it out, not able to, swinging a miss on that. Heinen comes over to lift the stick. Heinen now trying to get it out, has Heinmiller, trying to shove it up towards Heinmiller. She's taken down. Heinmiller now finally able to try to nudge it out. Nelson intercepts, trying to get it over to Hoffman. That's going to have to be played as Hoffman's going to get it in the corner. Centering pass, nobody there. Everybody getting off on a change. That goes down the other direction. If it reaches, it'll be an icing call as the arm is raised, and with 5:40 left, we'll have another face-off down in Maple Grove zone. Well, outside the power play, we've had an opportunity or two, but no real fireworks. Maple Grove is who we thought they were. To quote the late Denny Green, they are who we thought they were. A good team, fast, competitive. Most girls look like they can skate pretty well. Garvey throws that to the slot. That's intercepted. Maple Grove now regrouping back behind their own netminder, trying to go D to D behind the net. A little bit of errancy to that, and Edina's able to keep it in momentarily. Nice hold there by Williamson. She shoves it back into the corner. Forster and McGarvey now chasing with Forster looking. And Maple Grove flips that off the high boards. If it gets there, it'll be another icing call. So as the game has gone on, Maple Grove has taken probably 4 or 5 icing calls. They've taken the penalties, so that's indicative of Edina outplaying them to this point. Edina has more shots, and I think it's a matter of time before we take the right shot at the right time. Goaltender looks pretty solid today. Back to Nelson. Nelson, nice play back to Sauter. Maple Grove coming across neutral ice. Maple Grove fumbles a bit. Nelson trying to control. Nelson trying to do a little dancing behind the net. Up to Morgan. Morgan puts on the brakes. Morgan not able to get it out, and we'll have a hand pass, it looks like, and we'll have a face-off outside the zone. Two of the better uniforms in youth hockey. I love the maroon. I like Omega's uniforms. Obviously, a big fan of Edina's uniforms. Any given time, you can mistake Gia Morgan for Neil Broughton or KK McGarvey for Dino Cicerelli or somebody with grit of Taylor Nelson for Willie Plett. She was number 24. So we have a face-off down in Edina zone now, just over 4 remaining. Weary hasn't seen much action yet, so that's always something to keep an eye on as Maple Grove gets in a football-like huddle, drawing up a play in the sand. I think we say we're going to go back to the point, and we're going to go D to D with it, and you're going to hit in the corner. I'm going to put it to the slot, and we're going to hammer it home, something like that. First things first, they got to win the face-off. They do. Weary comes across and escorts that to the corner. Hoffman trying to punch it out. Maple Grove keeps it in. They throw that back behind Weary. Sweetser now first to get it. Throws it up the boards. Heinmiller touches it out. Heinmiller chasing. Heinmiller trying to come away with a loose puck, and she does. Heinmiller bumped and not a call. So if they're not going to call that one, then I think it's going to be a little bit of a rougher game today. And as long as it's consistent, I guess I have no problem with that call. Or that no call. Heinmiller did have the advantage there, and she did have the angle, and Heinmiller did a good job of getting her between the body and the puck. But, again, good no call, I think. Maple Grove, errant pass. So that's going to allow Forster to get there. Forster does a nice job dumping that deep, allowing McGarvey and Carter to chase. Carter trying to get there. She does. Lifts the stick, punches it back into the corner. McGarvey trying to pinch the puck up against the boards. We got a 2-on-2 battle royal. McGarvey comes away with it, and it's a shot that rides up the stick and hits the chest, and that's covered up with just over 3 minutes remaining. Yeah, I love that shot. Just a little quick shot. Goalie wasn't expecting it. You know she wasn't expecting it because the stick wasn't positioned properly, and that allowed the puck to ride up that stick, and she was fortunate that it just hit the chest and didn't go over her shoulder in the back of the net. Helfrich now holding, trying to get back to Forster. Forster trying to get it to the center. That's taken away by Maple Grove as they'll have a 3-on-2 with a back check. Helfrich punches it back up to Forster. Forster touches it to Carter. Carter now racing into the zone. She's bumped off the puck, and we'll have an offsides. A lot of whistles today. Just throw the whistles away. Just play some pond hockey. Well, call your own fouls. That usually doesn't end well in most open gyms across the metro area. Shoot now. Over to Morgan. We've got two girls right next to each other, Morgan and Fitzgerald. Now they spread out. Shoot takes a shot. Goaltender sees that the whole way and yanks that out of the air. Sauter digging it for it in the corner. Maple Grove comes over to take her off the puck. Sauter fighting to get it back. She does. Spinning. Bumped out the puck. Morgan gives a whack at it. Sauter tries to touch it to Fitzgerald. Finds Sweetser. Sweetser with a quick little shot, and that just goes wide. Got that off her stick. Sweetser with a goal earlier against Andover. Similar type of play. Nelson up to Morgan. Morgan gets taken down and no call on that. Well, like I said, it could get a little rough, especially when you take down Gia Morgan. Gia Morgan isn't one for short memories. she will remember that one. Nelson trying to walk it in with a dangle, trying to get to the slot. Nothing there, has to go deep with it. Fitzgerald back in Nelson's position. Nice identification there. I mean, that's heads-up hockey. Loses an edge, so no call there. Sweetser now collecting. Sweetser now up to Sauter. Nelson collecting. Nelson slams on the brakes, throws it near Sauter. Sauter trying to collect and get it out. She does. Heinen punches it down. And we're going to have the 39th whistle of the game with 31.8 seconds remaining in the first period. End of the intermission, we're going to hold a drawing for somebody's lucky pet to get massaged all weekend long at Morgan's Pet Lodge. Hoffman off to the races, fights off a hook, shot, go! Hoffman uses her speed and picks a corner, and it's a snipe, and it's a 1-0 lead. Edina on top. Hoffman 3 for 3 in the last opportunities where she's had time to pick a spot, deposits it with interest, and gives Edina a very important goal in the last minute of the period, 24 seconds left. .15 remaining. Puck on the near boards. Spitz near the slot. Heinen trying to get it out. Does. Hoffman trying to touch it up. She'll say, you know what? We'll go into the first intermission on top, and that's where we'll end. Let me know. All right, here we go. Garvey on the draw. Maple Grove a little slow coming out of their huddle, getting some very emphatic direction from the coaches. A lot of hand gesturing, a lot of fist bumping. So, you know, they expect to be in this game. They expect to compete a little higher than they did in the first period to give themselves some more opportunities. It'll be up to Edina to step on their throat a bit. Maple Grove now putting on the brakes in the corner, trying to get back up to the wing. That connects. They'll try to exit. Nice play by Nelson to stand it up, throws it back the other way. Neutral ice battle won by KK McGarvey as she helps Nelson out to grab the loose puck. Maple Grove now controlling behind their netminder. Carter trying to cut her off. Carter gets a stick on it. Carter now trying to keep it back behind the net. Maple Grove throws it up and they're trying to exit. Back to Nelson. Nelson has to wait a little bit. We'll have an offsides. Decides to say better safe than sorry and live to fight another day or another shift. Well, Fitzgerald now, Morgan. This line's been buzzing. This line has been in sync with Sauter at the right wing. Sweetster now to Williamson. Williams now up to Morgan. Back to Sweetster. Sweetster now dumps it in. Morgan and Sauter chasing. Fitzgerald overseeing the action down low. Oh, just through Fitzgerald's skates, and she's going to go collect and throw it back to Morgan behind the net. Morgan now trying to get it to the front of the net. Sauter's tied up, not able to get enough on it. Fitzgerald over there battling. We got a scrum. Sauter's trying to come away with it. That spits to Maple Grove as they try to exit. Fitzgerald gets a stick in there to slow that down, and she comes back and lifts a stick there to get a turnover. Morgan now, 1-on-2. Goes wide. Waits for her buddies to get into the zone. Little sauce over to Williamson. Williamson trying to collect. Shot. Wide. Sauter tried to tip it, but that would have been a da-da-da. That would have been a top play if she was able to knock that out of the air about 4 feet high, 4 feet wide, and hammer it home. And we have an offsides as Edina's getting off on a change, so another whistle, face off outside the zone. So Hoffman onto the ice. She's got to be feeling pretty good about herself after that laser that she deposited into the corner to give Edina a 1-0 lead. Always like watching the energy of a kid that just did something extraordinary. It's like when you scored a basket in basketball, nobody got back on defense slow. Like you scored that basket and you raced back there like your life depended on it. You had all the energy in the world, but you missed a shot and it took you a little longer to get back. So we'll see if Hoffman might have a little bit more jump, and she gets the puck now in neutral ice and she's racing on from the left side. Takes a shot, that's deflected. Nice play to get Hoffman the puck in some open space. Nice job by Maple Grove's D to get back though too. Heinmiller now trying to get to the front, centering pass, and that's loose for a bit before Maple Grove collects. They'll exit. They'll have a 2-on-2. And they splits the D. Weary comes over and says not today. The Maple Grove fans want a trip. Well, I want those 3 body checks, so sometimes we all can't get what we want. Maple Grove now shot, rebound, loose. That's whacked out of the danger zone by, I believe, Heinmiller. There's a shot. That goes just wide. Maple Grove catching Edina with some tire legs now as they're in the zone doing some operating of their own. Centering, that hits a skate. That goes through the paint. Weary kicks that to the boards. And wisely, Hoffman throws that down the length of the ice. No, and we're going to have an icing call, but the one official waved it off, but the one already had it in his head that that whistle is going to be blown. So see if we can grab the momentum back a little bit. Maple Grove with an opportunity as the forward came and split our D, and Weary had to come over and escort that to the right corner, and then they had a little bit of zone time, and Hoffman wisely just threw that down the length of the ice to get some fresh legs on. McGarvey now on the draw. Carter and Forster. Sweetster and Nelson. Shot goes wide. Forster now chasing far boards. Not enough on it for Maple Grove. That's going to come away. McGarvey's going to punch it to herself, and she'll be off to the races, and she's all alone. McGarvey winds. Shot. Goal! I just had a flashback to Duluth when McGarvey raced across neutral ice 38 seconds after Minnetonka gets on the board. Similar type of action, exactly the same shot as she picked the left corner and a laser tickled the nylon. Two absolute lasers today from Hoffman and McGarvey, and that's the difference. That's a 2-0 hockey game, and Maple Grove's not done. They'll continue to fight. That goes past Forster. Maple Grove trying to punch it back the other way. Sweetser collects, not enough on it. Forster trying to help her out. Maple Grove trying to get it deep. They finally are able to get it in. Sweetser now, nothing over to the D, has to go behind Weary. Up the boards in the vicinity of, I think that's William Carter over there. Nelson now around the net. Nelson now off the puck. McGarvey grabs some change. McGarvey. That's past Carter. collected by Maple Grove. Forster now trying to get it deep. Not enough on it. Maple Grove throws it back the other way. And we'll have an icing with just over 10.5. This is a bigger game than people might realize. I mean, we've got a Dangle Fest victory. We've got a third place Duluth, and it's nothing to hang your head about. I mean, you got 2 third place finishes and a championship, and 3 of the tournaments that you played. A lot of programs would sign up for that in the beginning of the year. Of course, our expectations, we want to win them all, but needless to say, a very important game to come away with a third place finish and a victory over a pretty solid opponent. As that shot hits a goaltender, we get a quick whistle. Nice play by Sauter to come back. Williamson now chasing. She's got somebody hot on her tail. Some speed from Maple Grove trying to disrupt things. Morgan comes away with it. Morgan now out of the zone, cross neutral ice. Sauter has to stay on sides. She does. Tries to whack that into the zone, but that flies into the Hornets bench. There are a lot of whistles today. A lot of whistles. I mean, what do you do? I mean, they're all good whistles, Hoffman, the theft. That just goes high. Wings are low, so if that gets back to the point, she'll have some room. It does. That goes wide by about 8 feet. Trying to get back to the point, but guess who? Heinmiller comes away with it, and she's racing into the zone. Heinmiller trying to get it deep. Stick lifted. Maple Grove comes away with it. Back to shoot. Shoot has to wait. Hoffman now looking to get it in the middle of the ice to Heinen. Heinen now backhand. Nobody there. Heinen was a center. They didn't have a wing to fill her position as she was on the left side. Nelson plays it. Nelson now trying to enter. McGarvey, nice job coming back. Maple Grove looking to make something happen to get this back to a 1-goal game. McGarvey, deja vu, into the zone, shot, rebound, loose, still loose, and it's a goal. McGarvey with the shot, juicy rebound, Carter knocks it home. She tried to go to that forehand that time though. Which is good. She didn't stay on the left side. She tried to go back to that forehand. Yeah. Puck drop back to Sweetser. Sweetser trying to hit Morgan off her stick. Maple Grove punches it out near neutral ice. Williamson battling. Morgan digging. Morgan coming away with it. Morgan slams on the brakes, taken down, trying to get it back to Williamson. That hits a little bit of traffic, I think. Maple Grove trying to punch it loose, and Sweetser gets a stick in there. Nice play by Sweetser. And I thought that might be a call as a stick got caught in the skates, but like I said, they haven't been making too many of those calls. Fitzgerald trying to get to Williamson. Williamson collects. Gets it up the near boards. Williamson now controlling back at neutral ice. Turns. Trying to get it up to Morgan. Morgan collects over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, a little dangle. Trying to get it to the net. Does. A little late stab, but the whistle blows and the goalie covers up, and we'll stay 3-0 with just under 7 minutes remaining. Good job. Maple Grove fighting off a little contact. Gets it up to the center. She's bumped off the puck. Shoot now trying to control. Shoot. Brown Weary. Off to the races. Stick by Maple Grove. Shoot is like, oh, that work. She had one to beat. She'd have been home free. Maple Grove with a couple nice escape moves into the corner. Nice outlet. Better stick. Better stick by Helfrich. Maple Grove with a little dangle 1-on-3. Gets through a lot of traffic. Taken down, no call. And that's going to... Weary didn't see that in time. Goal. Surprised Weary a little bit. The little tough angle shot from the corner. I think it hit her skate. And then I think someone punched it out. Went through the paint, back to the point. And by that time, there was a little bit of traffic that found the back of the net. ABC, always be closing. ABS, always be shooting, right? Sales, always be closing, always be shooting. He's like Hoosiers. Can't score if you don't shoot the ball. I want 5 passes. Slot, shot, traffic, loose. McGarvey coming away with it, up to Forster. Forster trying to get back to McGarvey. That'll be collected momentarily by Maple Grove in their own zone, but McGarvey trying to do something about that. McGarvey and Carter battling. Forster overseeing the action. Forster now coming over, trying to get her off the puck. Nice play by McGarvey to come back. Forster now trying to get it back into the corner. She does off a backhand. Over to Nelson. Shot. Save. See if May can win one back here. See if Sweetser still has a hot stick. She's been close today. Got one earlier against Andover. And we're going to have a little bit of a cage match there as there was a late stab at the puck. Back in the Mad Dog Vachon days with Jerry Blackwell, Kamala, the Ugandan giant. Back to Sweetser in her vicinity. Maple Grove now coming back, and they're going to have a 2-on-3. Got it had to be an offsides. It's a bad offsides if it was, because they had a little bit of speed entering the zone. .444 remaining here in the second period. Williamson trying to get it out. Maple Grove trying to keep it in. Maple Grove gets it deep. Halpert's got to grab into the corner. She comes around Weary. Wow. We got a penalty finally called. I didn't see it. But It must have been something somewhat serious for to be called. Back to the point. Shot deflected. Nelson trying to keep it deep. Does. Behind the net. That's deflected. Yeah, we should be. Good Hoffman, here we go. Pass got to be a little quicker out of that. And Maple Grove's even strength. Shot. Man, it's just not able to connect as that reached the slot. Good battle far boards now. You got Morgan over there, shoot. Fitzgerald, Carter all taking whacks at it. Finally reaches back to the D of Maple Grove. Try to get it up ice. McGarvey coming off the bench, intercepts. Wines, delivers, and that goes wide. Maple Grove trying to get it out. It's been in the zone for about the last minute. McGarvey now. Backhand, just through the crease. Maple Grove asking to ice the puck. Coaches, players, everybody asking for an ice. Over to Williamson. Catching Maple Grove as their bench is on the other end, so they're not able to get off. Calling for an ice, but you've got to have the puck in order to do that, normally. Shot, save, goal. And that was a result of just a lot of tired legs. Girls couldn't get off. Edina kept the pressure on and a couple whacks at it, and it's a 4-1 hockey game. I'm not sure who got it. Who was it?
It looked like Reese.
Maybe Reese?
Was the first one through the line. So.
Whoever raised their hands up first gets a goal. That's a rule, right? Get it up there. Forster getting it deep. Carter chasing. Carter trying to do a little sneak attack coming around the other end. Does a nice job poking it loose. Heinmiller now collecting, throwing it back behind the net. Yeah, Heinmiller just skating on speed blades. I think someone said that she picked up these speed blades. They're like super expensive. They make you super fast. I wish I could get blades so that everybody could be as fast as Heimiller. I'd buy him for the whole team. Nelson up to Hoffman. Hoffman gets it deep. And that'll do it. 4-1 hockey game into 2. Yeah. All right, here we go. So we've got the third period of hockey, the most important period of hockey. 4-1 lead for your Hornets. Maple Grove gets it deep, and they're coming with the fury. They want back in this game, and Edina wants to step on their throat, so let's see what happens first. Shoot, trying to get it north. Picked up by Sauter. Over to Morgan, 2-on-1. Morgan over to Fitzgerald, and just past her stick. Fitzgerald now into the corner. Nice play out of the zone. Able to get a 2-on-1 right out of the gate into the third period. Shot picked up by Fitzgerald. It's a backhand, and that's going to be squeezed tight. Tell you what, 4-1. I mean, if there's any message on the Maple Grove bench, like, hey, let's get back in this game, Edina let them know in a hurry that they have other ideas. Little zone entry by Maple Grove. Edina grabs the puck, gets it north, gets a quick 2-on-1. Doesn't connect, but then gets a little snap backhander that squeezes for a zone face-off. Shot, that just goes wide. Carter with the wrister. Is there anybody working harder than Elsa Carter right now? She literally flew. I mean, she was like sitting next to me about 4 seconds ago and got all the way over to the far boards and disrupted that play. And now she's behind the net, stabbing it over to Forster. Forster now trying to get it back to Carter. Of course, McGarvey's like, okay, I can show you hard work too. Sweetser now trying to enter. Sweetser now shoves off one, controls. Tries to get that to Heinen, but Maple Grove was positioned nicely. Nice hold by Williamson. Williamson with a nice job getting up there aggressively. Sweetser now wheeling, trying to give it to Hoffman. That's Hoffman's spot. Hoffman's like that guy in Open Gym at Lifetime who's just in the right spot, like beyond everybody else, where he gets the outlet pass. The only problem is that guy usually pulls up for three when he's 1-on-0. All the time. Just starts jacking threes. Heinmiller digging it out, peeling it off the boards. And we should have an icing call with just under 13 minutes remaining. But no, Hoffman is obviously knows where to be because she gets a lot of action. And she's skilled enough to be able to pick that puck up either in motion or real quick before she's starting motion to go north and south. So fun to watch and fun to see how our defense can evolve to making sure that they're always looking in that area, because although the opposing team's defense isn't going to give that away a lot, I mean, there are some girls or some lines and programs that will fall asleep a bit. Fitzgerald now trying to do a little dangle between the skates. Sauter picks up some loose trash. Sauter, wrister, that's deflected back behind the net. Morgan bumped off the puck. Maple Grove trying to shove it up. That deflected. That's going to be picked up by Fitzgerald. That's deflected as she tried to get it to the front. And Maple Grove is going to try to ice it, but that's going to hit some snow, and that'll have to be played. And here's that pass I was talking about. Sauter collects. Sauter able to get it deep. Because even if you don't collect, I mean, you get it deep and you're down here, now you're on a forecheck. So, I mean, if you're a dump and chase team, great. If you're a team that has the ability or the skill for a wing to pick up the puck there and try to hit a home run, I mean, it's pick your poison, right? I mean, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. All right, so Edina to the box the first time. Shoot. What did she do? She, I don't know, I think she might have body checked somebody. Cross check, yep. Try to get away with one, yeah. So, I mean, no problems whatsoever how the game has been officiated thus far today. Or really this weekend for that matter. Puck loose. McGarvey trying to get a stick on it. Line shot. Initial save. McGarvey now coming and getting out of the zone. McGarvey with the same play out the boards for herself. Lines, and that's deflected. That's high off the glass into the corner. And we're going to have to be careful there as the girl's on the ice. You don't want to skate to get in a problem area. Nelson shoves that back in behind the net. McGarvey there to control. McGarvey pinned up against the boards. Not the worst thing in the world with 40 seconds left on the power play for Maple Grove. Forster over there trying to dig it out. Forster gets a stick on it. McGarvey comes over and gets another stick on it. Forster and McGarvey doing a great job applying the pressure needed to eat away these seconds as there's 25 left on the power play. Maple Grove now trying to exit, and they'll take a icing if it gets there, and not a bad kill thus far. Maple Grove missing two of their top players, Lucia Janke and Aaliyah LaFleur over at Breck. This team would probably be a little deeper if they were on the squad, but you're, like we always say, your best ability is your availability sometimes. Maple Grove now looking to create a little excitement for home fans. But not before Forster gets over there and puts an end to that nonsense. Williamson fights off a check. Maple Grove now collecting behind the net. Into the corner. A little scrum, a little battle. Forster trying to hit Hoffman. That's going to have to be played as the goaltender wipes that to the corner. 50-50 if it was going to get there, so she decided to get that out of trouble. Heinmiller and Hoffman creating all sorts of problems as Heinmiller takes a shot and that goes over the net. And Heinmiller is going to go off for a forearm shiver, a little baby stiff arm, and that'll send Heinmiller off for a minute and a half. I think Heinmiller's going to Heinen, is like, hey, you want to take this one? Hey, you want to say you did it? Heinen's like, no. I was like, I didn't do it. Why did I go in there? You did it. It's your minute and a half. But hey, I mean, listen, you want to take a penalty, that's the type of penalty you want to take. It wasn't cheap, wasn't stupid. It was just hard hockey. Shot. That's escorted to the corner nicely by Weary. I mean, there's dumb penalties. There's cheap penalties, but sometimes there's just penalties that, in the scheme of things, are going to be taken. Maple Grove with a little bit of pressure here, unlike their first power play. Sauter now trying to get it off the boards and out. She does. That's likely going to reach, and so we'll get an icing the face-off down probably to the right of Weary. 54 left on the power play. Yeah, I think that might be who's in the box. Nice play there. Sauter trying to touch it up to herself. Maple Grove now controlling. Looks to be one of their stronger skaters getting out of the zone. Trying to get it deep. That hit some traffic. Maple Grove trying to punch it forward. That's going to be picked up by Ella Sauter. Ella Sauter trying to split the D with a little dangle, getting in deep. Shot. Rebound. Sauter now takes another shot as she's falling to the ice. Nice athleticism there. 2 for 1. Fitzgerald rubs her off the puck. Sweets are now back. Wheels up the boards. No wing there, so as a hold momentarily. Here comes Fitzgerald now. 1-on-2 hockey with the back check. Fitzgerald putting the team on her back. Wide shot. And that's going to get back behind the net, and Fitzgerald's going to draw a penalty. 1-on-3, Fitzgerald gets a shot and then draws up a penalty. And that is what you expect from Mae Fitzgerald. Those types of plays, different players have different abilities to do special things. And in a tight game, I mean, crucial, super important. In a 4-1 game, yeah, it's important. But needless to say, Edina is going to have another opportunity to show off their power play unit. We've got McGarvey and shooting out back at the defensive positions with Fitzgerald, Carter, and Morgan. So see if we can get something going down here and doing a little operating in some small spaces. Morgan controlling, trying to get it over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald now back to Morgan. Morgan has to shoot if she wants her. Stays low with it. Goes back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes back to shoot. Or over to shoot. Shoot now. Shot. Safe. Rebound. I don't know if I like that shot. I think, we're controlling the puck and, you get a couple of strides and a shot with nobody in front of the net. I think we get that shot. I said, I don't know if I like that shot. If it goes in, I love the shot. But I think with Morgan and Fitzgerald and Carter and then McGarvey and shoot, I think we have an opportunity to really 4-1 hockey game. See if we can get just a high quality shot like right with Fitzgerald shooting, and it's a rebound. And we've had a couple this weekend. That's why I'm so interested to see if we can get another one working where we're moving that puck around and getting it to a player that can hammer it home using the girl advantage. But easier said than done, because I know even my daughter Taylor, she likes a rifle from back there. Around the corner, Nelson's got to try to step up and hold it. Oh, flip. Heinen trying to collect. She does, trying to get it to the center. Heinmiller coming over, fresh off of a 1.5-minute rest. All right, see if we can get a face-off one, get back to the point, see if maybe Hoffman gets some space low. Maple Grove wins that. Heinen takes her off the puck. Maple Grove grabs it back towards Nelson. Nelson flips that back to Heinen. Heinen to Heinmiller. Heinmiller turns it over to Maple Grove. Maple Grove will have an opportunity. They're 1-on-2. That just goes wide. Nelson throws that in the near boards. Hoffman takes a jab at it. Heinmiller tries to come away with it. She does enough to escort that down the length, but that's going to have to be played. That won't get there. Fresh skaters for Edina. Got Forster, McGarvey, Carter, Williamson, Helfrich. McGarvey over to Helfrich. Helfrich back to McGarvey. McGarvey fights off a little bit of a mini hook. And they're going to get that one, or we'll have an offsides. Williamson holds, throws it back towards McGarvey. McGarvey holds. Little pass, same type of pass that was just intercepted, and Maple Grove will have an opportunity if they can win a race. Maple Grove to Weary. Sticks that away from the oncoming forward that was looking to get on the board. And 5.5, we'll have another icing. Are there any football games on today? I don't really watch football, but it's been a long weekend. I just feel like laying on the couch. Fitzgerald deflected, a couple bounces. Shoot back into the corner. Morgan chasing. Pokes it to herself. Sauter coming over to help out. Punches it to Morgan. Morgan's going to have a shot. Loose. And they get a whistle. That was probably a good whistle. I mean, it was loose, but it was half under her pad, half out, so not the quickest whistle in the world. Face off, trying to control it. 2 on for each. Sauter tries to get a jump as the puck spits out of the pile. That little half a step allows her to control in the corner. She's got to fight off 2. Back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald wheels. Fitzgerald finds some space, tied up. And we'll have another icing with 4:15. A lot of icings today from Maple Grove, as we mentioned before. There's been a lot of them. Last game of the tournament might have a little something to do with that. Playing a team that's faster. You wouldn't think Edina dropped the contest. I mean, Edina's really got championship energy, today. I mean, they're playing hard. Whoa. Heinmiller with that snipe. So last night I was talking about how Heinmiller gets in those spots, and I said, you know what? You just have to have that clock go off on your head, kind of like a quarterback in the pocket. And 7 out of 10 times, if you just take a look, you're going to have an opportunity to snipe. Did I say she had a hard shot? Did I say she had an accurate shot? Heinmiller right there turns, and it's not selfish. when you're in that spot and you have a shot like that to take a snipe and give your team a 4-goal lead. I mean, I am so excited that she made that play, regardless if it went in or went in. And I know they're looking for more. Centering pass, that gets deflected back behind the net. I mean, that is so exciting to see, because she's had a few opportunities to really take that same shot. And that was a no doubt about it. That was a no-doubter. Maple Grove with a little bit of zone time now. I did not even realize they have pulled the goalie down 5-1 with 2.5 left. So goal differential is obviously out the window, because this is the last game. I like that move. It's like, hey, you know, we'd like another goal today. How are we going to get one? I like that. It sends a message to your team. It's like, hey, we're here to do the best we can every shift, and you know, try to get on the board again. I mean, that's a great message. Put your best team on the ice, give them the best chance that they can to win. I mean, you send those messages. You're playing in a championship game, third place game, semifinal game. You owe it to the team, as Forster takes a shot at the empty net, to send that mental message like, we're going to give you girls the best chance to win. Does it mean a girl might miss a shift? Absolutely. Does it mean that, you know, somebody like Ellison or Gia or, you know, KK or May might be on the ice for the last 3 minutes and you have to take a timeout for that to happen? Certainly. Send that message. We're going to put the best team on the ice. You guys work your butts off. You guys go to the 7 o'clock practices. There's only so much that, you know, coaches and parents can do, but that's one thing they can do, is the personnel, to make sure that you're in the best position to win these third place games. And if you have to pull the goalie down 5, down 4 to get your girls excited going into Monday, do it. I love it. Puck's loose. Maple Grove now trying to get some traffic in front of Weary, and that's deflected. Maple Grove will be able to get there first. Got a fast skater getting back to that. Throws it out of the zone. Back towards Sweetster. .29 left. Shot, save. Another save from Weary. She skips that out. Maple Grove trying to get it 5-hole. Do a wraparound attempt. That's going to reach Halfrich, and she's going to try to get out of the zone with 10 seconds. Has her eyes on the prize, and Maple Grove I mean, that puck stuck to that stick like Velcro. I don't know how, because Halpers just rifled that thing about 8 feet away. And that'll do it. 5-1 hockey game, third place finish. The Edina Hornets Cabin Fever Classic. Thanks for listening.
Congratulations, good game.
That was a fun